In this video, I'm going to be seeing how big of a difference weight makes in racing. As some of you know, I'm much taller than the other drivers I race against, which means I weigh more. I've always wondered how much this extra weight actually affects me in karting, but also how it would in cars. Before we get into the video, make sure to join the Discord server for some community races. The link is in the description. Just over a year ago, I tested this in real life by adding ballast to my kart during a practice session. We came to the conclusion that 10 kilograms in rental karts at least added around 4/10 of a second to your lap times. While this test was a really good insight, it wasn't perfect as I was using a different kart in both sessions. However, using the simulator we make this much more accurate. My original plan was to use a karting sim and add 10 and 20 kilograms of ballast to see the difference. However, none of the karting sims allow you to add ballast, at least not without adjusting game files. This meant I couldn't use a kart. However, on the Mod Ultimate you can add weight penalties to drivers, so here's how I'm testing. I set up a private server on LMU at Silverstone in the Ginetta LMP3. I've been doing this combo a lot recently, so it should be the fairest comparison. I'm using Go Setup's esports race setup and using 20 litres of fuel for both runs. Once I've done the baseline test, I'll add 50 kilograms of weight to the car. This is a lot more than what I was going to add to the karts, but as this car is heavier and a lot more powerful, I need to add more weight to see a big difference. Let's get into the test. For the ballast-free run, there isn't much to comment on. The track conditions were a bit higher than my previous runs, so my time was a little slower with a 1:52.5. Now for the rated run. Carrying an extra 50 kilograms, I expected to be much slower down the straights and under acceleration. Like in real life, I think it's going to be a lot harder to get the car stopped. While driving, I saw that 2 of my predictions were correct. Down the straights, I was losing loads of time. With the weighted setup, I was losing 3 or 4/10 down most of the straights. This is something I've seen happening in real life as well. Under braking, it was a lot harder to get the car stopped into slow corners like turn 3 and the final F1 chicane. To my surprise, the weighted car was a tiny bit faster under acceleration. I think this is because the extra weight meant I could apply the throttle faster without getting wheel spin. The time gained under acceleration did not outweigh the time lost down the straights though. I gained a few hundredths under acceleration and lost a few tenths down the straight. Through the corners I didn't notice too much of a difference, however any sort of snap I got was amplified with the extra weight, and some corners where I would never worry about losing the car became very sketchy. Let's look at my fastest laps in each car now and compare the differences in more detail. My fastest lap with the extra weight was 1.2 seconds slower than the normal run. If we assume the time loss is linear, that means for every 10 kilograms of extra weight, you lose about 2.5 tenths of a second per lap. This is almost half the time lost in the go-karts. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe and join the Discord, and I'll see you in the next one.